Hello, I'm Tanya from English Challenges. I'm so excited as usual for our live lesson today because it's something that will help you improve your pronunciation even if you don't have a teacher, even if you don't have a speaking partner. So this is really an amazing opportunity for you no matter where you are in the world or how much money you have, you can improve your own English accent. Okay, we're going to talk about 3 ways that you can improve your accent with TV shows. And this is beyond the just watch TV shows because you can watch them and enjoy them and keep doing that. But today is about how you take that to the next level, how you really understand the specific nuances of language and how you can use your favorite TV characters to help you improve your American English accent. Now, if you haven't done so already, click the subscribe button, but most importantly, click the little bell notification, and that way you'll receive an alert for our next live lesson. And as usual, if you're a challenger and if you haven't done so already, check your email. An hour ago, I sent you the notes for today's lesson so you can follow along and you get some bonus information there. And if you're thinking, Tanya, I want to be a challenger, then yes, check out the notes, the video notes after the lesson, and I'll link to where you can sign up. It's free. You get awesome challenges, and you get the notes right before our lesson. Yes, I see some challengers in the comments. Hello. Hi. I'm so excited you're here. So while we get started, or now that we have started, tell me, what is your favorite American English TV show? And I stress American because that's what I teach. There are so many great British TV shows or Australian, but today I really want to get your favorites for American TV shows. So let me know here. And let's get started. So we'll start with the simplest. The first 2 suggestions I'm going to give you are pretty simple. And then the third one, I really go in depth for what to look for, what you're paying attention for. And again, this is not just watching a show for fun, which I highly recommend. Keep doing it. What I'm going to teach you is a little more involved and it's more intense. So actually, I only recommend doing this kind of activity for 10 or 20 minutes. So as soon as you feel overly exhausted or frustrated, stop. We want to make sure we keep this fun, so you keep doing it. Okay, The Good Doctor. Oh, I haven't heard that one. Wizards of Waverly Place, a Selena Gomez fan. Love it. Hi, Sharif. Okay, our first tip, what most people do with shows. And when I say TV shows, I mean anything from things on your actual TV, anything you watch on the computer, YouTube videos, Netflix. So anything that falls under the show category. The first thing is most people just listen and repeat. This is okay, but if you want to really, I'm talking to my intermediate to advanced English speakers. So now that you know the language, you want to really make it smooth and like a native speaker, you want to look at this gorgeous area because this is where the difference is between okay English with an accent and smooth, natural, native-like English. So if you notice that when you listen and repeat, your English is still a little off. You're like, I don't sound like Rachel from Friends. Why not? The reason might be because of your mouth. So really look carefully at the shape of their lips, their mouth, how far down their jaw goes. So for example, jaw, you notice my lips purse a little bit. They come in and my jaw drops. So jaw. Right now, if you can, repeat after me. So not only are you listening and repeating, I want you to feel this area of your body and try to mimic what I'm doing. So again, jaw, jaw. So if you're watching a TV show or YouTube video, you can pay attention to that. Like, what are their lips doing? And this is going to take a lot of patience. You're going to rewind and play, rewind and play. Okay, tip number 2. Now that you know how to look, so you're listen, look, repeat. The second thing to really elevate this experience, this technique, is you want to observe yourself. So not only are you going to observe your favorite superstar on television, you are your own superstar. You can use a mirror, but that's immediate. What I would recommend is your camera on your computer or your phone. So you can do a voice record, do a voice memo. You can do a WhatsApp voice memo and send it to yourself. You can get an app for free. Or what I recommend is record yourself, because then you can take this, Put it next to your TV monitor or your computer and check, do your lips look like their lips? Does your face look like their face? Because, my friends, my challengers, when you're mimicking, you don't realize it, but you probably look like this. Like, think about how you looked when you repeated me and I said jaw, jaw. I look relaxed, but maybe you looked like this, jaw, jaw. Your whole body language changed. And so you want to make sure that that doesn't happen when you use English. So when you record yourself, you get to see like, oh, okay, I need to relax my shoulders. Like, oh, my face looks angry. I need to change that. So these are things that will help you. It's not just about speaking naturally, it's about looking natural and relaxed. And that's something that a lot of people forget. So then you wonder why you feel so tense. And the reason is because your shoulders are up here every time that you study or practice English. So your body starts to associate English with stress. So we want to loosen up, especially if you're using one of your favorite shows. And by the way, keep giving me recommendations of what your favorite American TV shows are. Okay, so here it's hard to record myself. You know what? Everybody feels that way. It's going to be awkward, but you're not posting it anywhere. You can delete the video as soon as you're done practicing. So I would recommend be confident, be brave, and remember, nobody sees this but you, but it makes a big difference. And again, you can use your phone, you can use your computer. And if you don't have any of that, just use an old-fashioned mirror. You can take a mirror from, I don't know, makeup or from the bathroom, wherever. Okay, so now those are the two basic ones where you add look. So you listen, you look, and you repeat. Tip number 2 is look at yourself by recording yourself. And if you do it on your phone, you can actually put the video of you next to the TV monitor, and then you get to directly compare. Now, the third one is where I'm going to go more in depth. And this is where I'm going to tell you what to look and listen for. So again, if you don't have a teacher or you like to study on your own, this is how you can make the most out of this experience. And this is where I refer to it being a little more intense. You really want to breathe and take a moment and say like, okay, it's going to feel a little overwhelming at first, but the more you do it, remember, there's no pressure. You're going to do little by little, but I'm going to give you a lot right now, and you can look at the notes later. If you're taking notes, fantastic. If you're a challenger, I already sent you the notes. So remember, you have this to refer to. Okay, so here are the things that you're going to pay attention for when you're listening to them. I highly recommend put the captions on. If the show doesn't have captions, Google the name of the show, the name of the episode, and transcriptions, and see if somebody posted it online, and that might be easier or more helpful. Okay, so a few things you're going to listen and look out for. The first one is connected words. This is where your pronunciation will see a big difference. For example, when you're learning English, you learn, for example, don't you. Don't you go to that school? But when you listen to native speakers, it sounds like don't you. So it's ch instead of don't, you. And this is why I'm stressing American English. In American English, we don't over-enunciate a lot. We tend to blend words. So this is something that will help you not only understand native speakers, but sound more like one. So don't you, don't you. So when you hear this, pause the video, look at their mouth. Look at me. If I say don't you, it's different. It looks different than don't you, don't you. So now that you're looking, now you might realize, oh, that's why it was hard to mimic. You weren't understanding the placement of your mouth. And yeah, this is very different from British English. So this is something great that you can use American TV shows to help you. Another one would be, so some people call them sneakers. Some people call them running shoes. I call them tennis shoes. But if you read this, if you're reading the captions, it'll say tennis, like the sport, tennis shoes. However, when you're doing this activity and you're looking at the speaker and you're listening, you'll realize that it's connected, it's blended. It actually sounds like te-ni shoes. The S at the end of tennis disappears. It blends into shoes. So if you say, I bought new tennis shoes, it sounds like a non-native speaker. And again, nothing wrong, but if you're watching this, you're probably intermediate to advanced and you want to correct those things. So if you want to sound more natural, you could say, I bought some new tennis shoes. So repeat after me and look, tennis shoes. So if you're doing this, you could realize, oh, the captions say tennis shoes, but her mouth and her sound does not pronounce the S. So this is where you connect everything and you really elevate your English. Let me see another example I'll give you. For example, kept going. He kept going. So the past tense of keep is kept. However, when you read it, you might over-pronunciate, right? But when you're doing this activity with a TV show, you're listening to a native speaker and you listen carefully. He kept going. He kept going. The T disappears. So I don't say he kept going. He kept going. Kept going. So the T disappears. The P starts to blend into the G. So isn't that pretty cool? With just these little exercises and understanding what you're listening for, what I'm teaching you right now, you'll really start sounding more natural. All right. Some parroting tricks. Yeah, and the thing is, it's really easy for us to say, just listen and repeat. But if you don't understand these little things you're looking for, it makes the mimicking and the parroting a little more challenging. And in my opinion, frustrating. You're like, I'm repeating. Why doesn't it sound the same? And now you know you're probably saying it like you think you should instead of like what you're hearing or reading. Okay, something else you want to look for? This is something I want all of you to know. Contractions. Non-native speakers don't use contractions as much as native speakers. So this is something you can very easily change. And if you're thinking, Tanya, I hate contractions. I don't know how to pronounce them. They're really difficult. You're not alone. So something you can do is pick maybe 2 or 3 contractions that you feel comfortable with. Start with those. Start using those contractions. And then while you're doing that, keep practicing the ones that are a little bit harder, like wheel. And what you can do is actually, you can use homophones to help you with that. For example, W-E''L-L, wheel, is the same pronunciation as the wheel on your bicycle. So that might help you make that pronunciation connection. So you want to listen for how native speakers on TV shows use contractions. And here's a bonus contraction, informal contractions. Oh, Americans love to use these. And if you're thinking, what are those? For example, instead of saying give me, so this is that enunciation. We don't say give me a pencil. I would say give me a pencil. So that's an informal contraction. Give me instead of give me. So repeat after me. Listen, look, repeat. Give me. Give me a pencil. Give me a pencil. Now here, notice my body language. So if you really like a character, the way they speak or their personality, also try to mimic some of their body language. It'll feel silly, but it helps you loosen up. What's another good one? Oh, instead of saying a lot of, I have a lot of shoes. When you're watching a show, it probably sounds like, I have a lot of shoes. I have a lot of shoes. Pretty cool, right? So again, these are little things that will help you sound better, make you feel more confident. Okay, so we have, you're listening for contractions and informal contractions. And again, if you're a challenger, check your notes. I actually have a list of informal contractions for you to practice. Now, the next one is filler words. These are also known as hesitation sounds or hesitation marks. This is something that I think is so cute when non-native speakers say it, but I understand that maybe it's not something you want to keep doing. For example, when I'm thinking, I would say, or like, however, I know Spanish speakers would say, So it's a little different, but these little things, your English might be flawless, but when you hesitate or you're thinking, sometimes you don't realize you go back to your native language. So these filler words, some examples are like. We use that one a lot. So like. So listen to how your TV show characters use the word like. Okay, right. So I use right a lot. Americans love that word, right? Or okay, right. So see, okay, right. So if I'm listening to you, I might just be saying, okay, right. Right. So these are tiny things, but when you're using this activity, you can use it to pick up on that. When do they use what words and how? And then pay attention when you use your native language. So if you're a Spanish speaker, try not to say amor. It's Good, right? Let's see, what's another one? A good one for filler words. I notice that a lot of my students say you understand, but as to an American, that sounds like an actual question. Like, you understand? We don't really use that as a filler. What we do use is you know. You know, but we say you know. You know? It's like I went there and it was raining and it just wasn't a good day. You know, it just wasn't a good day. You know? So it's a filler right there. It doesn't serve the purpose of the sentence. It's just filler. Okay? The next one, this is the last one. Yes, I was trying to be respectful of your time. I'm trying to keep these between 20 and 30 minutes. So the next one to listen for is rhythm. And I actually just had an awesome lesson with a student. This is, okay, probably if you hear someone speaking, but we muffle their words, you can't really hear their words. You can probably tell by listening to the rhythm what country they're from. Right? Like if you hear an American, it's like, oh my God. Or Italian, everything goes up. There are certain rhythms that we have in our native language. And American English is different. So this is something you can really, 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 really use TV shows to help you with. The rhythm. I want you to think about in the individual words, which syllable do they emphasize? That'll really help you. A lot of times you might find a word difficult just because you're stressing the wrong syllable. So listen to that one. Then in the sentence, what word do they stress? What word goes up? And remember, intonation, when I say go up, I don't mean be louder. I mean the intonation goes up. For example, so here, if you're listening to me, for example, that's what I mean by rhythm. So you want to listen to how they use it. So listen to individual words, what syllable they stress, the clause or the sentence, where do they go up for emphasis? Is it a question? Are they being sarcastic? For example, if any of you love Friends, think about how each character has a special intonation. We have Chandler, who uses sarcasm. Could you be any more annoying? So he's famous for emphasizing be. Could you be any more annoying? If I just said, could you be any more annoying? That sounds like an actual question. Could you be any more annoying? There I'm being mean. I'm not asking you anything. I'm saying you're annoying. Think about our other favorite, Joey. How you doing? So here, you goes up and doing, the G disappears. It's not how are you doing? That's a legitimate question. But Joey's, how you doing? There's no verb, how you, not how you. So look at the mouth. How you. It blends. How you doing? All right, pretty good. So now that you know what to listen for, I'm hoping all of you feel really empowered. You're like, oh, that's how I can use these shows to help me. So you want to listen to the rhythm, listen to where they stress the words. And also with rhythm comes body language. How do they say their lines? For example, when Ross, I keep using Friends because I love that show. When Ross, we know this line where he's like, we were on a break. He's not shouting it, but he's emphasizing every single word. We were on a break. But listen to the blend. We were on. It's not we were on a break. It's typically blended. We were on. We were on a break. And then his body language is really strong because he's frustrated. But I side with Rachel on that one. And so we've got how you doing? Could you be any more annoying? So here I'm just using the guys because they have those like really famous phrases. The ladies on the show are hilarious. And maybe I'll look up some of their phrases later. So the point there is it's beyond the captions, right? If you just read the transcriptions or the captions, it doesn't really show the spirit of the line. And this is where TV shows or YouTube videos are amazing because you can also practice their body language. When you're learning or speaking in another language, it's hard. It's hard to be confident and to be you. So sometimes if you pretend to be somebody else, it can help you work through that insecurity or that confidence barrier. You have some fun. And then when it's your turn to be you in English, you're like, okay, I can do this. So maybe you find which one of the friends, to use that show again, which one do you feel that you're most like? So maybe focus on using this activity, these exercises with Monica's lines. If you feel like, oh, I'm like Monica, I'm like really ambitious and motivated, but I'm also a little high strung and uptight. So her lines will be perfect and her body language will be perfect to help you. And of course, if you're watching Breaking Bad and you don't relate to any of those characters, which is okay, then cool, just use it anyway. Have fun with it. And remember, if you're doing this and it gets to a point where it feels more like homework and not like fun, just stop for the day. I want this to be something that you could do maybe once a week. It doesn't have to be every day. And don't do the full episode. Maybe just pick 5 minutes of your favorite episode and do some of this stuff. Take notes. If you notice they're using an expression and you have an English teacher, ask them during your lesson or try to Google it or search for it online. Maybe if you use Google Translate and it doesn't make sense, it's a good chance that it's probably an idiom or a phrasal verb or something that has a different meaning. So try looking it up in a different way. So you can search phrasal verb and then the expression just to see if it is. Okay, everyone, thank you so much. We're wrapping up. If you're interested in being a challenger so that you get the email with the notes before, please sign up, check out the video notes, or go to EnglishChallenges.com. And if you're interested in my online courses, I have a really good business expressions 15-day challenge that's going to be on sale soon. Check the video notes. Again, sign up. I'll send you announcements. And thank you so much. Remember to have fun, be brave. And this is something you can do in the privacy of your own home. No one's going to see your recording. Probably nobody will hear you. So let yourself just let loose. Do whatever it takes for this to really help you come out of your shell so that you feel more like yourself in real life. Or if you don't use English in real life because you don't need it for work, maybe you live in a country where it's not used and you're just doing this for yourself, keep doing it. Don't give up. This is a really cool way to have interactive English even when you have no one to practice with. So maybe you can rewind it, wait for one character to finish their line, pause it, and then you respond with the next character's line. So that could be a fun way where this feels more like you're talking to someone or practicing. All right, I hope those tips were helpful. Check out EnglishChallenges.com/blog for the update on the podcast. I'll put this on there for courses, for notes. I'm so excited that you spent part of your day with me. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. You too, Bruna. Bye. Bye, Mohammed. Yes, more challengers. Bye, Sharif.